I'm 70. I avoid people now. And before you jump to conclusions, no, it's not because I'm bitter or afraid or antisocial. It's something else. Something I didn't expect to learn until much later in life. When I was younger, I thought getting older meant slowing down, getting weaker, losing touch with the world. But I was wrong. What you lose first, long before your strength, your sight, or your memory, is your patience for noise, for nonsense, for people who drain you. Let me explain. A few years ago, after I turned 70, I started noticing how exhausted I felt, not physically, but emotionally, after being around certain people. Not just loud or rude people, but people who carried chaos with them. Drama, complaints, gossip, shouting over each other at restaurants, talking at you, not with you, telling stories that didn't go anywhere. I used to endure it, smile politely, nod my head, played a part. But one night, after a long dinner with some old friends, I went home, sat in the dark, and thought, why am I doing this to myself? That was the beginning of the change. I want to share something deeply personal with you. Because I believe that if you're over 60, over 70, or even over 50, you've probably started to feel it too. That quiet craving for peace, that need for clarity, that pull towards solitude. Not because you're lonely, but because it finally feels like home. And I've spoken with others who feel the same. Like my neighbor Ruth, she's 76, used to host dinner parties every other week. Laughter, food, music. Her house was the lively one on the block. Then one day, she stopped. When I asked her why, she said, I realized I was feeding people who never fed me back. That stuck with me. Then there's Henry, 83, still sharp as ever. Wrote poetry in his 20s, worked as a history teacher for decades. He told me, these days, I only answer the phone if it rings twice. That's how I know it's my daughter. Everyone else just wants something. Henry isn't mean. He's just aware of his time, of his energy, of how precious it's become. So when I say I avoid people now, it's not about hiding. It's about protecting. See, the older you get, the more you understand that your time is a currency. And unlike when you were younger, you can't earn more of it. Every hour you spend is one you don't get back. So you start choosing, carefully, quietly. You choose to be around people who lift you. You choose silence over small talk. You choose quality over quantity. And yes, you choose solitude. Not because you've given up on people, but because you finally made peace with yourself. But there's a catch. Too much solitude can turn into isolation, and that's dangerous. Isolation isn't the same as solitude. Solitude is chosen. Isolation sneaks up on you. There was a time when I stopped answering calls. I stopped walking with the group at the park. I told myself I was fine. But slowly, I started losing touch. Not just with others, but with myself. I stopped laughing as much. I lost interest in cooking. Days blurred together. I was quiet but not peaceful. That's when I learned. You need both, connection and quiet, stillness and stimulation. The trick is in the balance. If this resonates with you, if you've ever felt that tug between wanting peace and needing people, please take a second to like this video. It helps others find these words, and maybe it helps them feel less alone too. And if you haven't yet, subscribe. We're building a space where real conversations can happen. No noise, no hype, just real talk from people who've lived it. Let's keep going. So how do you protect your peace without isolating yourself? It starts with boundaries, not walls. Boundaries. You can say no to invitations that feel like obligations. You can walk away from conversations that feel like performances. You can choose to spend your mornings with birdsong instead of background noise. Start small. Choose one day a week where you don't make any plans. Let your day unfold. See what rises up inside you when there's no one else talking. You're in a lot. Another thing that helps, create meaningful moments. You don't need 10 friends. You need one good one. You don't need a packed calendar. You need a few things that make your heart move. I started painting again, badly but joyfully. I send handwritten letters to my grandson. I sit with my wife and just sit. Those moments feed me more than any crowded room ever did. Let me share one last story. A man I met at a local senior circle, James, once said something I'll never forget. He said, in my 30s, I wanted to be seen. In my 50s, I wanted to be heard. But now in my 70s, I just want to be understood. I think many of us feel that way. We're not chasing attention anymore. We're seeking connection. Real, honest, soul-level connection. And sometimes, to find that, we need to step away from the noise. So yes, I avoid people now. But not because I'm bitter. Because I've learned to honor my energy, to protect my peace, to choose presence over pressure. And if you're in that place or heading there, you're not strange. You're wise. Thank you for spending your time with me today. If these words meant something to you, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and most importantly, take care of yourself. Because your peace matters. And so do you.